Hey you guys, what's going on? My name is Rye Reed, the writer. So happy to be back for this new year. Excited to start dropping some videos and get back into content creation. Alright, so today's video we're going to be discussing the Book of Clarence. And this might sound a little crazy, but I had never heard of this movie. Knew nothing about it. It sounds pretty interesting actually when I was doing research on this film, but yeah, I had never heard of it. And I don't know if that's like really just due to the times that we're in. Like with movies and everything that's been coming out, I don't care about movies as much as I used to. Granted, like this is my job. I like covering content. I like covering film, television, movies, actors, stuff like that, and entertainment, and you know, just that industry as a whole. But something about just the 2023 year, I think there was too much going on. You know, I would say from economic standpoint, like, you know, things are just expensive, like with inflation and with money, and we were in the middle of 2 wars that's also happening, and last year was the first year we were slowly starting to come out of the pandemic, that crisis. You know, so we're dealing with a lot of, I don't know if you guys lost anybody, but I did. I lost family members during like that period. So just, you know, there's a lot on my mind, a lot of other things I'd rather do, a lot of other focuses and priorities like on family. So going to the movies hadn't been my strongest suit. Granted, I did go to a lot of films, a couple films last year, but it wasn't like I would normally do like the years prior. I just had other like responsibilities and things to do. But this year, I will be making that commitment to show up to the theaters more, stay more on top of like television shows and things coming out. Of the Book of Clarence, this movie, I would say it probably had like a dual issue. One being the marketing. Just because if I didn't see it, and I'm on TikTok, I'm on social media, I don't really watch television. Like, I don't really care to watch TV anymore, unless it's like Netflix or something. Maybe a little bit of Hulu here and there, and a little bit of, I do Prime, like a little bit, but, you know, I primarily get all my news source or TV stuff from like TikTok and YouTube. So I don't really watch a lot of television. So maybe that's the reason why I didn't know about this film. But yeah, let's kind of get into this film. I'm a little bit deeply concerned about it. Not in terms of like, do I care about it? No. But just the reasoning behind it. There seems to be a trend going on in media and the entertainment like universe. I've noticed a lot of content. It's not just in film. It's also in music. There's like a huge, I'm gonna call it an agenda. There's been a huge agenda for mocking God. And I don't care what y'all have to say, but this is generally just my opinion. And this is just what I'm like seeing. But I've just noticed that there's like a really big push for mocking Jesus, for mocking Jesus Christ, for like almost making the devil seem like he's like tantalizing, like he's something you want to like strive to, or you know, he's not as like threatening as, you know, I guess you would assume that he is. Like, you know, he's your friend. Which I think is absolutely insane. Even if you don't believe in God and you know, you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, or you know, you didn't grow up in the church or anything whatsoever, I'm on the standpoint, I'm on the fence where when it comes to religion, I think it's always best to respect it, even if I don't agree with the religion, like, you know, as a whole. Like whether that's Catholics, people who believe in Buddhism, those who are Christians, those who are like Jehovah's Witnesses, you know, the list goes on. You know, those who believe in like the Church of Beyonce, it's crazy, or Scientology. My viewpoint, my standpoint is always to respect other people's beliefs, to not mock their gods, you know, how many gods they believe in or whatever they believe in, and just to give them like that respect. But I find it so interesting that like right now what I'm seeing in media is that they're like pushing this so much, like just to really just make fun of Jesus. Like this is like the thing right now. And like I'll just make a couple like, you know, points before we kind of get into this like whole topic. And this all relates to, because like the Book of Clarence really is, it's blasphemy at its best, like at its absolute finest. Like I watched a few clips of the movie, and me sitting here watching this as someone who was raised in the church, who has a lot of reverence for God, I'm fearing for these people. Like like these people are getting really brave, like out of nowhere. Like I just don't know what this is. But what's his name? He's a little rapper. His name is Little Nas. There we go. I had to think about it. He recently, I think it's this month, he dropped a music video where same thing, he was mocking Jesus Christ. And not only was he mocking Jesus Christ, he was mocking Noah, and like, you know, just Jesus walking across water. I looked at the music video. I'm not really interested in his music too much. He does have some good music. He's the dude who made the Old Town Road song, which was super popular back in like 2020 during like the height of the pandemic. So, you know, the man is super talented. But I'm just saying, I'm just noticing all these trends. Then same thing with like Doja Cat. I don't want to butcher her name. I actually like Doja Cat like a lot, but same thing for her. Her recent release for her new album had a lot of I guess like drippings of like, you know, demonic presences of like another song she had about demons being your friends. A lot of like imagery that had to do with like the Antichrist. And I do understand like a lot of that stuff is part of like pop culture. It's been around like before my time. It has a lot to do with you know, has been I guess like intertwined with like rock and certain type of music. But I'm just, like I said, I'm just noticing all this happening like now. And it's just, I never take things for a chance. I used to just think things were just a coincidence. Not anymore. Like those days of me just thinking, oh, this is just like an accidental, or maybe this is a one-off type of thing. It's no more. This is more of an agenda that is being pushed. I guess to like denounce God and to mock Jesus, and you know, just to make fun of what Jesus Christ did on this planet, you know, to the best of their ability. And it's I'm sorry, you guys, I did not expect for me to even do this video, but I felt called to cover this story because, you know, one, it's entertainment, and two, this movie absolutely flopped, which is no surprise by me. But yeah, let me get into the Book of Clarence. I'm going to go over the synopsis of the film, then I'm going to discuss how this particular movie lost money, which it absolutely did. To be honest, it's just no surprise. It's economically, it's just the wrong time. People have to make a decision between, especially people, I'm young, so a lot of people around my age demographic, they are making the decision between having food and like having medical, or, you know, having food or paying for their car. Some people are going without, like, you know, I know a lot of people who are actually like the working poor who have jobs and are still homeless. Like they're living in their cars. Like our economy right now, we're being hit so hard, just with everything. So the decision to say splurge a little bit of your extra income on going to the movies, it's not a necessity anymore. Like before, back in the day, it was a necessity going to the movies. It was great leisure. Going to Disneyland. I live in California, as people do out here. We go to Universal Studios. We go to Disneyland. We go to Knox Ferry Farm for fun. But people are just not making those like decisions. So would I say the Book of Clarence was at the top of anyone's list? And I would say absolutely not. It was just the wrong time. And also, like I said, there are a lot of people in this country who, in America and, you know, across the globe, who do have reverence for Jesus Christ, who do respect him. and to make a movie mocking God. I don't really care what the directors say. I'm not gonna look up any videos on their interpretation of why they made this movie, or them thinking that, you know, maybe it's fun to make a comedy on Jesus Christ and like twist it. I'm not really looking for all that because it doesn't matter. The point is, they made this product. They decided to mock God. You know, it's blasphemy, and that's just what it is. But let's get into what this this movie is about. The Book of Clarence is a 2023 American biblical comedy drama film. It was written, directed by, I'm probably going to say his name wrong, but that's okay. It's James Samuel. And it was also produced by, here's the catch, here's the kicker. It was produced by Jay-Z, and this is why I had to come out here and do this review. It was also produced by James Z and James Lasseter. So I did some research. We already know who Jay-Z is, but I did some research on James Lasseter. He's actually one of the, I guess, producers. He works alongside like Will Smith. So when you think of James Lasseter, think of like Hitch. Think of like any of like Will Smith's like major movies, and he's like any of his like really huge films that did great in the early 2000s. But yeah, so that's absolutely insane. So we can kind of just see the cabal of people who were in the production as well for this film. But yeah, Jay-Z and James Lasseter. You know, keep those names in mind. If you're ever going to watch any of their movies, just remember these two individuals made the Book of Clarence. But yeah, let's talk about the plot. And I'm reading all of this on Wikipedia. You can look it up yourself. This is not me just, you know, writing any of this. And this is why I'm so like dumbfounded about this movie. It's just like it's a shock to the system that like I'm even doing a review on this, or they even decided to write this. But this is what the plot says. The story unfolds in 3 books. The crucifixion is... Do y'all hear that? With an old Hollywood style title lettering. Wow. So check this out. A struggling, down on his luck Hebrew man in, guess what time? AD 33, Jerusalem. What time was that? That was during the Jesus of Nazareth's time, Jesus Christ's time, in Jerusalem. Clarence and his friend Elijah lose a chariot race with Mary Magdalene. You guys. And money the victory would have brought due to difficulties like gypsies shooting darts at them and almost running over a dirt encrusted beggar Benjamin. Oh my gosh, you guys. These are just some of the characters in the story. So you got Clarence, who's our main character, our main protagonist. You have his friend Elijah. You have Mary Magdalene, and you have an encrusted beggar Benjamin. And if you guys aren't aware, Benjamin is part of the 12 tribes of Jerusalem. Benjamin was Joseph's little brother, so that's ridiculous. Clarence owes money to a loan shark, Jedediah the Terrible, but also loves Jedediah's sister, Verena, I don't know. Roman soldiers racially profile Clarence and Elijah for a theft they did not commit. So they're combining Jesus Christ with, it's insane, with like racial discrimination against African Americans since he's black. Isn't that nice? Clarence, a marijuana smoker. And who does Clarence symbolize in this film? This is just me looking at, and I'll probably put it up right here. This is me looking at a theatric poster for the Book of Clarence. There's a picture of Clarence sitting in the middle of a table, which is symbolic to Jesus Christ there for his Last Supper. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. But yeah, Clarence is symbolic to Jesus Christ. And guess what Clarence does in this movie? He is a marijuana smoker who steals honey wine, the disrespect here, from Romans, smokes opium one day around the floating in-air bodies of the opium smokers, and seeing a light over his head. Yo, you can't make this. Yo, I'm just reading Wikipedia. This is not even me, you guys. Seeing a light over his head, which is, if you've read the Bible, the light of your head is the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit came over Jesus Christ like a dove and conceives the idea of being a fake Messiah, you guys. Capitalizing on the rise of Jesus Christ. So this is where I just have to say the blasphemy is just so present. So you have Clarence. He's into drugs. He's a drug user. And he's a thief. He's stealing honey and wine. How does that combine to Jesus Christ? What do we do when we have communion? We reverence God using the bread of his body, of his flesh, and we drink his blood, which is also symbolic to him, to us drinking his blood, which is the wine. You can't get any worse than that. But this guy who's a drug dealer, user, he's a thief. He steals honey and wine from Romans, and he smokes opium. He gets a light from his head, which is the Holy Spirit, and he decides he wants to be a fake Messiah, capitalizing on the rise of Jesus Christ. Wow. So now not only is he all that, but Clarence is a false prophet to free himself of debt and to start a life of glory. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that just great? We just want to capitalize on the rise of Jesus Christ, and here we are, a smoker, smoking. We take opium. We're a thief. We steal wine and honey. Isn't that great? And we want to capitalize on Jesus to get out of debt. So here we go. John the Baptist slaps him for being a hypocrite when he drops by to be baptized. Wow. And to be honest with you guys, I can read more of the plot here on Wikipedia, but at this point, truly at this point, I don't really see any reason for me to continue. And here I am looking at the starring cast: Tiana Taylor, Michael Ward, David, I can't pronounce his last name, R.J. Siller. Some of these actors I do know. They're pretty popular African American actors and actresses, but yeah, it's just how better can you just disrespect God? And not only that, you have a man who wants to rise and become a Messiah because of the rise of Jesus Christ. That's just incredible. Wow. Absolutely incredible. This is what's coming out of 2023, 2024, the Book of Clarence. That's incredible. So this movie, the budget for it was $40 million. That's a lot of money. That's not as much as I've seen with Disney box office movies, other films, but $40 million is still quite a bit. Then what a lot of you guys might not understand is with film, there's also a marketing overhead that comes attached to any production that you make. That's something you always have to take into account. So just because it says $40 million is what they spent to make the movie isn't the final amount that they actually paid. Even though I didn't see any marking for it, I did go back on TikTok and look up some commercials for it, and there was commercials. I did see a couple like billboards for it and a couple posters. So like maybe, I'm not sure, I'm just like, this is just me guesstimating, but maybe on total it cost maybe an additional $5, $10, $15, $20 million to market this film. So regardless, this movie is absolutely in the hole, and truthfully, I don't really feel that bad about it, because it's just, I I don't know why you would just make a movie like this and you would think it would just blow up in the box office. If they made this and they possibly just threw it on like maybe Netflix or I don't know who made this movie. Like it doesn't say what production company. I don't know if it's like Warner Brothers or what, but if they just threw it on that streaming platform, whatever it's being produced by, maybe it would have been a little bit better off, but it's still, it cost them $40 million plus. But here's another catch. The movie in the box office, it came out during the 4-day weekend. That was the Martin Luther King weekend. In the box office, it only made $3.4 million. That's how much it grossed during that weekend, which is unheard of. But I don't know what's going on in Hollywood. I truly do not. Like, I've never seen so many flops in my lifetime. I haven't even been alive for that long. I haven't been an adult for that long, but I've never seen so many flops in such a short period of like 1 to 2 years ever. Like last year was egregious, as many flops as there was, and I went to a lot of those movies. I did see a lot of those major flops, and those were horrible, but you know, $3.4 million. It says here, I'm reading another article, and I'm going to attach all these articles down below in the description box. This article is by Screen Rant, so shout out to them. It says the Book of Clarence made less than 10% of its $40 million budget in its opening weekend, and like I said, you gotta add on the marketing budget as well, so they are even lower than that. The film opened to number 9 on the slot list for the weekend chart, and it released lower than Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which also wasn't the greatest movie in the whole entire world, but anything is better than the Book of Clarence. I stand by that. But yeah, this movie grossed $3.4 million. Here's another line. The rule of thumb for a movie's break-even point is generally that it needs to earn more than double its production budget in order to be in the black, meaning it is likely has to earn 80 million or more in order to avoid being considered a flop. So the fact that this movie only generated $3.4 million in a 4-day weekend during Martin Luther King weekend, and you know, as an African American, you dropping a black movie during that time period, it should have been an automatic just win. It should have just, you know, just shot up to the sky. The fact that you have a blasphemous black movie, the Book of Clarence, and it didn't do well on that weekend says an awful lot. People did not want to see it. It says, additionally, the opening weekend results have come even lower than already low original projections of the 7 million. It seems that it would take some major word of mouth for the movie to recoup its losses. Yeah, so I don't really need to read more of this because it's just more of the same. This movie completely failed. It didn't do good. It came out January the 12th. And yeah, so that's pretty much that. I will keep that writer's name in mind, Jameen Samuel, because now I know what kind of movies he's capable of making. Same thing with Jay-Z. So this is just super disrespectful. But yeah, here we are, beginning of this new year, and we already have our first Hollywood flop. A movie that is making fun of Jesus Christ and sitting at a table pretending to be the Messiah, pretending to be Jesus Christ, around the 12 disciples who are African American, and that's what it is. And this movie also professes that the Messiah and the 12 disciples were African American. Completely just, you know, they weren't Jewish. Let's just throw that out there. But yeah, this is just, I don't really feel bad about this whatsoever. Will I be watching this movie? I'll pass. I'll just, you know, let the movie just be. Because yeah, I'm not, like I said, I have so much respect for religion and for anyone's religion. I don't care what it is. I don't see any benefit of me supporting a film that's mocking God. And that's just where I stand in my life. I just don't want to put my money into that. And I hope this movie coming out is also insurance for writers and producers and capitalists who are like considering making movies mocking God to not do that. This movie wasn't going to do good anyway. I just don't understand why you would even put $40 million into this production, and I don't know why they even thought this movie would blow up and, you know, take off. Like, the people, what I'm noticing right now in the world is that the buyers, us, the customers, we have gotten fed up, and we're choosing to speak with our time, and we're speaking with our money. We've gotten to a point now, because I'm just seeing a lot of the controversy like on social media. We're choosing not to spend our money on things that we just don't align ourselves with. If it's, whether it's a corporation, whether it's a franchise or a brand, if we feel like whatever that entity is and it go against our beliefs, we are no longer investing our money into this thing. And I said for myself as well, I won't be putting my money into stuff like this whatsoever. And, you know, I get it. The director wanted to make a comedy, wanted to have a good laugh, wanted to do something with African Americans, and wanted to put us into the biblical like atmosphere, which was like not needed whatsoever. He could have told a different story, but instead he chose to make a mockery of God, of Jesus Christ. Decided to make a character that wanted to, you know, made it seem like Jesus Christ was just like a easy layup, easy cash grab, and wanted to imitate Jesus Christ, though he's a drug dealer and smoker and is on drugs, and him and his posse. And it's just, I don't know, you guys. I'm dumbfounded. I can't believe this is even a thing. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think about the Book of Clarence? What do you think of Jay-Z and I can't remember this guy's name. Maybe it's for the good that I don't remember his name. But yeah, what do you think about Jay-Z making this movie? What do you think about this movie absolutely flopping, only generating $3 million out of the $40 million that they spent on this film? So just tell me your thoughts below and we'll just keep it pushing. But stay tuned for the next video. Make sure you share, you like, you follow me on here, because I'm trying to hit 1,000 followers like this year. This is the goal. And make sure, you know, just you do all of that. But other than that, just stay tuned for the next video. I'm super excited for all this brand new content for the new year. And lastly, stay healthy, you guys. Get some water, get some tea like I am. I'm drinking some dandelion tea right now. I'm trying to fight off this little cold that I had a couple days ago. But yeah, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay warm. It's cold out there. I've seen there's a lot of snowstorms. It's super cold.